Have you ever wondered about the crucial role of biosafety levels in research laboratories and healthcare facilities? Well, it's time to delve into this fascinating world. Biosafety levels, often abbreviated as BSL, are a set of precautions and protocols designed to ensure the safe handling of potentially hazardous biological materials. At the most fundamental level, we have Biosafety Level 1. This level is designed for work with well-characterized agents that are not known to consistently cause disease in healthy adult humans. They present a minimal potential hazard to laboratory personnel and the environment. So in a BSL-1 lab, you might encounter non-pathogenic strains of E. coli and Bacillus subtilis. Standard microbiological practices are followed, and personal protective equipment such as gloves and lab coats might be recommended but not necessarily required. Moving up a notch, we have Biosafety Level 2. This level applies to work with agents of moderate potential hazard to personnel and the environment. These are pathogens that are associated with human disease but are unlikely to be spread by aerosols. And the good news is that effective treatments or preventive measures are available for these diseases. So in a BSL-2 lab, you might run into Staphylococcus aureus, Salmonella, and hepatitis B virus. Here, additional safety measures such as restricted access, biohazard warning signs, and the use of personal protective equipment like lab coats, gloves, and eye protection are required. Then we have Biosafety Level 3. This level applies to work with indigenous or exotic agents that may cause serious or potentially lethal diseases as a result of exposure by inhalation. It's a step up from BSL-2 and requires specialized facilities and equipment to prevent exposure to laboratory personnel and release into the environment. You might encounter Mycobacterium tuberculosis, the yellow fever virus, and SARS-CoV-2, the virus responsible for COVID-19, in a BSL-3 lab. Additional measures such as controlled access, decontamination of waste, and the use of biological safety cabinets are necessary. Finally, at the apex, we have Biosafety Level 4. This level applies to work with dangerous and exotic agents that pose a high individual risk of aerosol-transmitted laboratory infections and life-threatening diseases. It's the highest level of biosafety containment and requires maximum containment facilities with stringent protocols to prevent any risk of exposure to personnel and release into the environment. In a B, you'd come across the likes of the Ebola virus, Marburg virus, and certain strains of influenza virus with pandemic potential. Personnel working in these labs typically wear full-body positive pressure suits and work in a strictly controlled environment, often with multiple layers of physical containment barriers. In conclusion, biosafety levels are essential for ensuring the safe handling of potentially hazardous biological materials. They range from BSL-1, which deals with agents not known to consistently cause disease in healthy adults, to BSL-4, which handles dangerous and exotic agents that pose a high individual risk of aerosol-transmitted laboratory infections and life-threatening diseases. Each level requires an increasing degree of containment and safety measures, ensuring that both laboratory personnel and the environment are protected. So the next time you think about the world of research laboratories and healthcare facilities, remember the critical role played by these biosafety levels.